isn't something that everybody else has or that isn't conventional? Well, have you ever thought about raising chickens? My name is Ruby Nielsen, and I've raised chickens ever since I was 9 years old, and it's something my family has done for a long time. I showed chickens at the county fair, and I have a lot of experience with that, and today I'm going to explain to you how to raise chickens. So first, my family would order our chickens from our local feed store, and we would buy the chickens for either eggs or for show. And some people buy the chickens for meat. So before you go out and buy your chickens, you have to know what you want to do with them. So once you have your chickens chosen, you have to buy the amenities. And some of those amenities would be the water base, the chicken feed, or the heat lamp. So first I'm going to talk about the heat lamp. And in one of my pictures I have here, this is a picture of a heat lamp of chicks. So according to Marissa Ames, and she's an editor of the Backyard Poultry magazine, you should start your heat lamp at 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And she posted that in March 4th of 2021. So that's the reason why the heat lamp is so important, because it provides heat to the baby chicks once you bring them home. So the second amenity that you need when you raise chickens is that you need to pick the right feed. And when they're baby chicks, that's when you should pick the starter or feed starter for the baby chicks. And in this picture, this is what my family usually gets. We usually get the Purina brand, and this is the starter feed. And it is also medicated. We get the medicated because it protects the chicks from viruses and from diseases called coccidiosis, and that's really deadly for them. So that's what we do for that. And the next step, once you bring them home, is to also get the right water base. When they're chicks, you should get a 12-inch water base that's about this tall, and once they get bigger, obviously buy the bigger bases for when they get bigger as well. Okay, so chicks grow really fast, and after obviously when they're chicks, after that they become pullets. And I have a picture of a pullet. Pullets are chicks that grow most of their feathers, and that's when my family would move them outside into hen houses. So we move them outside into hen houses, and that's when we, buy the bigger bases and the bigger food and whatnot. And after they've been outside, we wait a few weeks until they reach 18 weeks of age. And that's when we get a totally different feed. So according to Patrick Biggs, he's a nutritionist that works for Purina, you should move your hens to lay your feed at 18 weeks of age, and that's what he said on October 17th of 2019. So once they reach 18 weeks, that is when we get a new feed, and this is the layer feed, and that has 15% protein, and they add more protein so that chickens can produce really strong eggs. So that's what we do in our family. And if you want to get meat birds, you would or recommended butcher them at 8 months of age. So that's the basic things that we do in my family when we raise chickens, and I think that's a really good process for other people when raising chickens. Like I said, raising chickens is really important to me, and it's a really good hobby to have, I think, for many people. I think that chickens require very minimum care, and they're comparable to having a small animal. I think chickens are a good stage to have between having a indoor pet and a farm animal. So if you want the happy medium, I think that getting chickens would be the best thing for you when raising them. So basically, get the chicks, get the right feed, get the right heat lamp, and get your chicken house, and I think you're set for raising chickens. So before I wrap up, I would just want to ask you, remember the next time you eat an egg or you eat a chicken product, that there is a total long process that comes between raising the chicks and getting the product. And of course, the plus of raising chickens, the eggs and the meat. So I hope that you all learned something today and that it makes you think about getting chickens in the future. So thank you so much for listening.